Hi, it's John from Fine Oak Things. Just going to do a brief tutorial today on the different types of extensions we use for our dining tables. There's three different types. The first are plug-in or end extensions, second are center extensions, and the third are breadboard extensions. So I'll just do a brief description, kind of show you how each one works, and then go through the advantages and disadvantages of each. So what we have here is the first type of extension. It's a plug-in or end extension on a table. For the table itself, the grain's going to run lengthwise on these tables. It doesn't happen that way with center extension tables, but I think it looks more elegant when the grain's running the full length of the table. The extension itself, the grain's going to run cross on the extension. The reason for that, some people don't like it because it doesn't match up, but if we did it the other way, the extension wouldn't be strong enough and would bow over time. So that's the reason that it goes cross grain there. They're 18-inch extensions on the end, especially for harvest tables. 18 inches is the perfect length so that you can fit an extra chair on the end of the table, as you can see there. And to get these extensions into the table, it's pretty simple. Like the name says, plug-in extensions. You're just going to pull the whole extension out. You can see there's arms on the extension. These extensions will not store inside the table. You'd have to store them somewhere else. But they'll just slide all the way out. Just bear with me here. Slide all the way out. And you can see the flap there, which will close and cover the holes. Some of them will have a knob on them, some of them will be flush. We can change that if you don't like the knob there. Other pieces will have a full cap piece that slides in place of the extension. And then basically when you want to put the extension in, just drop that back down. You see the two holes where the arms of the extension go, and you pop the extension back in. So the second type of extensions that we do are center extensions, which obviously go in the middle of the table. What I'm going to show you here is on a round table. Now on a round table, the extensions will not be able to self-store within the table, but if you do a table that's a 42 inches wide or wider, you will be able to store 2 leaves within the table with some of our builders. Other ones, they do build it so you can store the leaves, but then they do no skirt on the table. Personally, I think it looks better with the skirt on. I'll show you what that means once I get the leaf in. So what I'm going to do first is just open up the table. I got to slide the chair back, and I'll open up the table. So you can see the gear system, how that opens. All I've done here is place the leaf on the inside of the opening there. You can see on one end the nubs, on the other side there's holes. And you can see on the table, that's the same thing. So obviously match up the nub to the hole, slide it across and slide it in, like that. Then we can come all the way over to the end and just push the table just like that. Now it's tough to tell on a round table, but when you do the center extensions, the grain is going to run across the table as opposed to what I showed you on the plug-in extensions where the grain ran lengthwise on the table. Main reason for that, obviously in the middle of the table, you want the grain pattern to match up. It's going to look pretty silly if your grain pattern is different in the center of the table than on the outsides. So the third type of extension are breadboard extension. Now what that means is the grain on the table is going to run lengthwise on the table. You can see that here. But at the end of the table, you're going to get that breadboard piece that just goes across grain. So it goes across opposite the direction of the table. Now what you do with that one, it'll slide out like this, obviously giving you room for the extension to come in. See, I've placed the extension inside the opening there. It'll just butt up together like this, and then the whole thing will slide back in. And there's 2 clips underneath which lock to hold it in place. Now these extensions you do have to store separately from the table. You can't store them within the table like you can with some of the center extensions, but it gives you that nice look. Extends at the end of the table out from the base here and gives you enough room. You can see, just moving a chair over, so that more than enough room for someone to sit at the end of the table.